Welcome to my channel Forgotten Indian King Vertical Bar. The Seng Khasi and Jaintia chiefs Vertical Bar, silent guardians of the hills. In the misty hills of what is now Meghalaya, far from the grand courts of Delhi or Agra, lived warrior tribes who never bowed to the Mughals. Among them, the Seng Khasi and Jaintia chiefs played a crucial but often overlooked role in resisting imperial domination. Their resistance, rooted in culture, geography, and fierce independence, not only defied the Bengal Nawabs, but later created immense challenges for Mughal-linked colonial powers. This is the untold story of how these highland guardians kept the spirit of freedom alive through guerrilla resistance, cultural preservation, and unyielding defiance. Chapter 1. The People and the Land. The Khasi and Jaintia peoples are indigenous hill tribes inhabiting the Khasi and Jaintia hills of present-day Meghalaya. Their societies were matrilineal, clan-based, and deeply spiritual. Ruled by local chieftains, Siems, they maintained a decentralized governance system and lived largely autonomously. The rugged geography, steep hills, deep valleys, and thick forests made their territory naturally resistant to large-scale invasions. Yet, they were not passive. When external powers tried to impose authority, they fought back fiercely. Chapter 2. The Mughal Shadow via Bengal. Though the Mughal Empire did not directly rule Meghalaya, their Bengal Subas attempted to assert influence through trade, taxation, and indirect governance. The Nawabs of Bengal, often Mughal-aligned, tried to extend their authority over the border hill territories, especially in the 17th and 18th centuries. The Khasi and Jaintia chiefs refused to accept tribute or interference. This made them thorns in the side of the Nawabs and their successors. Chapter 3. Guerrilla Resistance and Warfare. With intimate knowledge of their terrain, the Seng Khasi and Jaintia warriors used guerrilla tactics to harass lowland forces. Quick raids, ambushes, and retreat into forest strongholds were common strategies. Attempts to force them into submission were often met with skirmishes and retaliation. The hill chiefs allied with other tribes when needed, forming resistance pacts and trade embargoes. Unlike many plains kingdoms, their resistance wasn't organized into pitched battles, but was persistent and deeply rooted in community defense. Chapter 4. Cultural Resistance. Even more powerful than their weapons was their cultural identity. The Seng Khasi and Jaintia peoples resisted conversion efforts, continued practicing their indigenous faiths, and preserved their languages, rituals, and customs in defiance of imposed authority. This spiritual resilience was also a form of political resistance. Chapter 5. Transition into colonial resistance. After the decline of the Mughals and the rise of British colonial power, often legitimized through Mughal-linked treaties and authority structures, the Seng Khasi and Jaintia chiefs continued their resistance. The Jaintia kingdom was formally annexed by the British in 1835, but revolts and defiance continued. The Seng Khasi movement, founded in 1899, sought to revive and protect Khasi customs from both colonial and missionary influences. Thus, their opposition to Mughal-linked power transitioned into anti-colonial resistance, making their legacy even more enduring. While their names may not feature in textbooks, the legacy of the Khasi and Jaintia chiefs is celebrated in local festivals, oral histories, and regional pride. The Seng Khasi Day commemorates efforts to preserve indigenous faith. Cultural institutions across Meghalaya promote their history. They are remembered not for conquering empires, but for resisting them and preserving their way of life. The story of the Seng Khasi and Jaintia chiefs reminds us that resistance comes in many forms, not just on battlefields but in language, belief, and everyday defiance. In the face of Mughal and colonial efforts to dominate their lands, these hill warriors remained free, not because they had great armies, but because they had unbreakable spirit, deep roots, and a refusal to surrender their identity. Thank you.